Hey everybody, Ryan Gronfin here with the Restaurant Boss, coming to you from the world headquarters just outside of Austin, Texas on a dark, cold, rainy, nasty day. It is April 7th of 2023, and today I want to address cost of goods sold. I want to address the continued pressures that you're probably facing on your cost of goods sold and the profits in your restaurant. Now, we are absolutely seeing continued pressure on cost of goods sold across all the restaurants that I work with, and the industry data is supporting this. Most restaurants are combating this by increasing prices. And I understand the need to do this, and I've been coaching my clients through this process for the last couple of years at a more aggressive pace than ever before. Today, I'm gonna provide you with 2 tips to help you more successfully and more systematically increase your prices and kind of combat the cost of goods sold challenges that you're facing. But I'm also going to end today with a very strong cautionary tale and a story, a message that I think is going to help you just grasp the concept of how we increase prices, why we increase prices, and when it's okay and not okay to increase those prices. So let's get right into it today. So the first tip that I want to share with you about increasing prices is that menu increases are not and should not ever be looked at as a shotgun approach or across the board increase. What I mean by this is you should never just say, well, we need to add 5% to everything on the menu. That is lazy, and that is not the right way to do it. Menu increases are surgical. You cut with a surgeon's precision. They're a rifle through a scope, not a shotgun that just affects everything. I want you to find items that are in high demand. I want you to find items that are difficult for you to produce. I want you to find items on your menu that use expensive ingredients, and that is where we want to start our increases. Now, maybe you increase the whole menu, but we're going to increase it disproportionately depending on those 3 factors, right? Are they high demand? If they're high demand, you probably have an opportunity to increase the price on that. People want it. That's what they're coming to you for. If they're difficult for you to produce, maybe people like them, it doesn't sell a lot, but the ones who like it really like it, and it's a lot of work for you to do it, well, then let's consider increasing prices on those. And then, of course, the higher cost items. What I mean by the higher cost items, let's get beyond the obvious here, is I work with a lot of clients and I see a lot of menus, even with clients I don't work with or restaurants I don't work with, that have very close price disparagement or delta or difference between item to item. Their whole menu is all priced within like $15 to $20. Don't do that. Price things out in a variety. Give people the options to buy what they want. If you operate a bar, I work with a lot of bars, from like dive bars to like high-end gastropubs, and I still see that. I see like all their entrees are in this like $20 to $30 price range. Well, put a steak on your menu, or if you have a steak on your menu, but charge enough for that steak. It's okay to have a steak that's $20 more or $15 more than your next item, because if someone wants that steak, they're going to order it. And if they don't, they can get a hamburger. Or if they want the steak but don't want to spend $50 on it, they can get a hamburger. So don't be afraid to increase the prices on items like that. I also see, like, let's say like a burrito restaurant maybe, where here's our standard burrito, or here's our pita wrap, or here's our whatever. And it's like the veggie price, the chicken price, the steak price, but there's only like a 25 or 50 cent difference, if there even is, or shrimp sometimes. Charge for that. If you offer veggie, chicken, steak, and shrimp, charge a lot more for the steak. $2, $3, not 50 cents more. If someone wants that steak, they'll buy it. If they want that shrimp, they'll buy it. If they don't, that's fine. They'll buy the chicken option. So you have the options on your menu. Don't be afraid to separate prices a little bit more and charge fairly for the stuff that's harder to produce, takes more work, or has more expensive ingredients in. The second tip that I want to share with you is don't get so far behind on these price increases. Stay ahead of it. Don't wait till you're already losing money or you see a big change in your cost of goods sold to then go, oh wow, we got to raise prices. I want you to create a culture of slow and steady increases. Every 2 to 3 months, I want you to find 20, 25% of your menu that needs a nickel, a quarter, a dime, $1 price increase, and then every 2 to 3 months keep chipping away at that. So by the time we've gone a year, everything on your menu has been increased, and we just keep that going. But what I see too much, I forgot to grab a rubber band. What I see too much is this rubber band effect, where a restaurant prints a menu, doesn't make a change for a year or a year and a half, and now they're losing money, or their margins aren't as good, and then they're like, that's enough, and they snap that rubber band. They make a big change, their customers see it, they feel it, their staff feels a little embarrassed by it, and then we're back to where we're supposed to be, and then we go another year and a half. All the while, the money that you're making from your price increase is just covering the money that you've been losing for the last 6 months. So stay on top of this. Make it a culture of just slow and gentle and steady price increases. Now, I promised you that cautionary tale, and this is what I want to talk about. Look, we all know that the 800-pound gorilla in the room associated with the fear of raising prices. People aren't going to want to come to our restaurant anymore. They're going to push back, they're going to go to our competitors. So the first part of this cautionary tale is, if you are not creating an experience or have products or a service that is distinct, then yes, you are always going to feel that pressure around raising prices. If you sell the same hamburger with the same cheese and the same ketchup and the same lettuce and the same tomato and the same special sauce and the same French fries and the same bun as your competitor, raising prices is going to be hard to do unless they raise prices. So then we get into this game. I do this with pizza restaurants a lot, where it's like, well, they haven't raised their prices yet, so I'm not going to. Or if I raise my prices, then everybody raises their prices. Like, create a service or a product or something that's distinct, so then you don't have to worry about your competition. Like, you're going to raise prices because people want to come to your establishment for a reason other than price or convenience, and they're willing to pay that. But the cautionary tale I want to share with you is that every time you raise prices, you do introduce the potential for competition. The best way for me to describe this to you is to tell you a little bit about In-N-Out. Now, I talk about In-N-Out a lot because I love the business model of In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A, but if you don't know In-N-Out, Google them. If you do know In-N-Out, you'll know what I'm talking about, even if you've never eaten there. They basically sell a hamburger. You can get a hamburger, a cheeseburger, French fries, milkshake, soda, that's it, nothing else. What I love about In-N-Out is they don't have the best hamburger in the world. Like, people talk about it and they rave about it. Look, it's a good hamburger. It's a good fast food hamburger. It's not the best hamburger in the world, but they're so efficient and so good at what they do that they're able to keep their prices down. Do they raise prices? Of course they raise prices. They raise prices the same as everybody else, but still, every time I go to In-N-Out, I say to my wife, I can't believe that In-N-Out is cheaper than McDonald's. In-N-Out is far better, far nicer, far faster, far better service, and it's cheaper than McDonald's. It's cheaper than Jack in the Box. It's cheaper than a Carl's Jr. or a Hardee's or whatever fast food burgers you have or compete with In-N-Out. Because they're able to keep their quality so high and their prices so low, relatively, there is no way that anyone can compete with them. They outsell their competition by probably 2 or 3 to 1. They are always busy. They are just on top of their game, but they're able to do that because nobody physically can compete with them. They are able to sell a high quality product at such a competitive price that people try to open up restaurants that compete with them. People open up hamburger restaurants that are better than them, but ultimately what it comes down to is those competitors have to raise their prices to make money where In-N-Out doesn't, or they have to raise their prices at a higher rate than In-N-Out. And so eventually they're either priced out of the market and go out of business, or they just never do the volume and really compete with In-N-Out because they're a more expensive product. So what I want to warn you of is, yes, you should be raising your prices. Yes, you should be managing your cost of goods sold, but you also need to focus on distinction and efficiency. If you are not distinct, there's no reason for people to come to you. And if you are not efficient, every time you raise your prices, you open the door for competition. Someone out there will be able to do what you do cheaper than you do it if you don't do it as cheaply as possible, as efficiently as possible. So please, every time you raise your prices, ask yourself 2 questions. 1, Am I adding distinction? Am I more unique? Am I giving people a reason, or am I continuing to give people reasons to come to my restaurant, even with this price increase? And if you can't answer that, then you got to be careful about raising your prices. And two, before I raise my prices, have I explored every opportunity possible to be more efficient? Don't let raising prices be the lazy option for you. I see it too much. Right now, there are restaurants that I no longer will go to eat at. I will no longer take my family to eat at because they are lazy. They are raising prices because their costs went up, but they are not improving their food. They are not improving their quality. They are not working to be more efficient, and they are getting to a place where there are options now for other restaurants that have better pricing and better food and better service. So make sure that you are focusing on distinction and experience and exceeding the guest expectations, while also focusing on efficiency while you raise prices. The last thing I want to say here, this video is going a little longer than I wanted, but I still think it's important. It made me think of a story. I didn't have it in my notes here, but it's a story I tell all the time. Every time you go to buy a new car or lease a new car, every 5, 6, 7 years or 3 years, whatever it is, you pay more for that car, and that's okay. You're mentally ready for that, but you're also getting a better car. The Ford Explorer that's parked in our driveway right now, or in our garage that my wife drives, is an absolute amazing car. I love this Ford Explorer. It was more expensive than I thought it was going to be. We paid more for it than I wanted to, but the car exceeds my expectations. Now, when I compare that to the Ford Explorer that my wife drove 15 years ago, it's a better car, no question about it. So now the story I have, or the question I have for you is, as your prices increase, and like I said, they should increase, is your service increasing? Is your quality increasing? Is your establishment increasing? Is your technology increasing? If all you are doing is raising prices, but you are not providing a better product, somehow you are going to fall behind. You are allowing competition to come in and crush you. So make sure that you follow the advice here in this video. If you have any questions about anything I said here, put it in the comments. I do my best to respond to those. Sometimes it takes a little longer than I want, but we'll get back to you. If you're interested in learning more about what we do here at The Restaurant Boss and getting more training like this, check out our membership at therestaurantboss.com. Also, go ahead and grab yourself a free copy over there of our book, Make It Happen. I wrote that book a year or so ago, and it's been a huge seller for us. It's been phenomenal. And we actually offer that book completely free on our website. So go ahead and check that out at therestaurantboss.com. And remember, systems create freedom, freedom creates value, value creates scale. I love every single one of you crazy restaurant people, and I look forward to bringing you another great video just like this. Have an absolutely amazing day and be awesome. Bye-bye.
Make It Happen is the book I wish I had when I was operating restaurants. Inside are the lessons that took me 10 years to learn and 10 more years of teaching to perfect. I've condensed the most important lessons into this tiny book for building a big restaurant business. I am on a mission to improve restaurants all over the world. Because of that, I want to send you a free copy. Grab yours today at therestaurantboss.com.